So, I really like Daleks. So when I moved into my new uni house, I decided one of the first things I wanted to do was I wanted to create the coolest Dalek collection ever. So what I've done is I've assembled a lot of Daleks. So what I'm going to try and do is take you through all of these Daleks that I've collected in order of when they appeared in the show. Just because I feel like that's the most fun and cool way I can do it. Also, if you'd like me to take you through a complete history of Dalek designs, let me know in the comments below and I'll do that video because I'll be quite interested in that. So first of all, we have this beauty. So this is the design from 1963's The Daleks, and it's the very first, the original Dalek design. So for any collection, you kind of have to have him. I'm going to bleed this into the next section because there are some cool comparisons here. Because then we have this Dalek who was kind of featuring at the end of the First Doctor era and was the Dalek throughout most of the Second Doctor. Now these guys are quite similar, but the main difference you've got with this Second Doctor-y kind of First Doctor-y Dalek is you've got the panelling around the middle here. I find that really cool just because we still see examples of this panelling on Daleks to this day. Now I did slightly cheat in there because in between those I've also picked up this guy. Most distinguishable for the black on his design and the little disc on the back, this guy featured in the Daleks' Invasion of Earth. He's one of those slightly more niche Daleks, but I feel like he's incredibly cool. There are similar designs with like all black and all white version of these, but I quite like the bits of black, bits of dark look on the panelling. I find this one really cool. Next, we have a gold Dalek. Now this one is from Day of the Daleks, and it's just, I love when we can get a little bit of colour into Daleks. Obviously this is the first Dalek story where there was a colour TV, so I think it's really cool they had this design. What's weird though is a lot of Daleks in that story actually, you know, had a lot of the darker design. That's like the leader colour, is this gold colour. So I find that quite interesting that for the first TV episode, they decided that most of the Daleks in the story were going to be quite a dull colour. Now, one of the cool things about the collection I have is I've got this guy. Now, he's a bit of a big one, and he's just really cool, and I think a little bit of size variation in your Daleks is quite nice. Very much a play on the planet of the Dalek Supreme Leader, so I've kind of got quite a few Supreme Leaders from the Third Doctor, which... niche, but cool. Now, the reason why I have two of these next one is because they are one of the most iconic Daleks in the show. The Genesis Daleks. These guys, they're just beautiful. They just feel so classic Doctor Who-y to me, and I just love the colour on them, and they're beautiful. God, Genesis of the Daleks, it's just a class story. Oh God, I've done this out of order. Quick little mistake in here for you. Got this guy. This guy, he's just really cool. He's quite a similar variation to this guy, but with the extra black head, I quite like him. Now back to the Fourth Doctor. This isn't a full-size Dalek, but I think he's cool enough to warrant a little section. Look at him. Look at him. Go on, focus. There you go. No. On him. Oh, look at him. Look at him. Now this one appears in Destiny to the Daleks, and overall it's just got that little bit of flair to it, and I really like it. Now for the last classic Dalek, we have one that might be one of my favourites in my set. Iconic. Now, this kind of Dalek first appeared in Revelation of the Daleks, but especially with the design of like the I speak so it lights up bit. It's most common in Remembrance of the Daleks. It's also quite commonly known as an Imperial Dalek when all the Dalek Civil War was happening. Overall, this is just such like a classic, iconic design. I think also just this pure white instead of the greys on the Dalek, it just stands out in a collection. I really do love this guy. I keep gendering Daleks. I'm not really sure I'm supposed to be doing that. Next, we have a classic. Just your standard 2005 Dalek. It might be dull, but this again is probably one of my favourites. This design is just so iconic to me as a Doctor Who fan. It's iconic to my childhood. I just really, really love it. Along those similar lines, we have some quite similar designs to this Dalek. Of course, I had to get Dalek Sec involved. Obviously involved within the Cult of Skaro of Series 2 and 3 of Doctor Who. It's just a really cool Dalek. Actually paired with, should I get two more of this guy and then I can kind of like recreate the Cult of Skaro? No, I don't have any money. After creating this collection, I genuinely don't have any money. I'm poor. Next up, I'm going to have to say this is another one of my favourites. Yep, here we have the Supreme from Stolen Earth Journey's End. Oh, and wasn't he in the Series 9 one? Yeah, this bloke was in Series 9 as well, and I love him. He's, again, that's one of my favourite episodes, and this is just such an iconic Dalek. I love him. Has this video just been me saying I love you to each Dalek? I'm okay with that. I know it's not really a Dalek, but we do have the modern design for Davros. Again, used in both Series 4 and Series 9, he's really cool. Now, moving on to Matt Smith's era, we seem to have found every specific Matt Smith Dalek we could find. First of all, have this guy. You know it's the early Brit. I've got to love that he has the British flag on him. Plus, I love these little more niche ones that just really make a collection pop. Ones like these two are just good examples where they just really, you see them in a collection, you go, yeah, they're cool, because they're not just your standard ones. Here we are, this section will take a sec. We have yellow, white, red, blue, and orange. Obviously, these guys create the Dalek Paradigm, and yes, at the time, I was very cynical, and just knew they were there and being made for toy sales. And now I've bought them all, so I kind of fed the problem. I love the Dalek Paradigm though, it's cool. Fortunately guys, we're getting close to the end, but this is another cool niche one. Quite infamously appearing in the finale of Series 5, this is the Stone Dalek, the Stone Paradigm Dalek. It's one of those that I just got quite cheap, and I feel like it's just a really cool part of the collection, really adds something to the Paradigm as well. And finally, we've got the Resolution Dalek. Now, I agree with some bits of how Chibnall have handled the Daleks, and I disagree with others, but in terms of a Dalek design, this one is very cool. I also like, apart from, unlike the others, this little bit moves, which, and you know, it's a very cool Dalek design. I love him. So, that's my Dalek collection. What Daleks do you think I'm really missing? I think I've got a very cool collection, but if you feel like there are specific bits that would really help beef up a certain era, or if there's an obvious one that you think would just really complete this collection, let me know. Also, I will very happily go through an entire history of Dalek designs. As I said, that stuff really interests me, so again, let me know in the comments below if you want to see that video. Honestly, if just one of you comments it, I'll probably make it. And if you want to see why in the modern series for a while I think RTD should give the Daleks a bit of a break, this is the video for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.